Hi everybody, welcome back to J-Rock Yoga. My name is Jess, and today in this short video, I'll be taking you through a yoga flow for your hips. So if that's something you're into, just keep watching. If you like videos like this, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every single week. Without further ado, let's get flowing. Okay, we're going to get started today in our child's pose. So I'm going to have you open the knees wide and bring the big toes to touch and sink the sitting bones back toward the heels. Once you're here, we'll crawl the fingertips forward and let the belly rest down. Now, if the hips are really tight and this is too much for you, you could bring the knees together and let the belly rest on the thighs, or you could even lift up the hips and place a blanket or a block in between your calves and the backs of the thighs, just to give you a little bit of lift. Really work with where you're at. There is no right or wrong, just do what feels good for you. So as you settle into your child's pose variation of choice, let's start to come into our body and take a few grounding breaths together. We'll inhale through our nose, and then open the mouth, exhale. Inhale through your nose, open your mouth, exhale. One more inhale through your nose, open your mouth, exhale. And just allow your breath to come back to a natural state. Notice that you can follow the breath with your mind, watching your inhales and paying attention to your exhales. And in today's practice, we're going to be moving intentionally, trying to get a little bit into the hips, loosening up any tight muscles from running, walking, or standing all day. And it is often said that our hips carry emotions that have yet to be processed or emotions that we've stored away, that may be challenging. So if feelings come up in this practice that might be surprising or deep, just allow them to kind of bubble up to the surface and exist. And if nothing comes up, that's perfectly fine too. It's something I've always found when doing deep hip openers, that they do tend to bring up a little bit of vulnerability. So if that's something that might be happening today while you practice, just know that it's all right. And we'll move through it together. Let's take about one more breath in here in your child's pose. And one more breath out. And then as we inhale, we're going to come up to all fours. We'll tuck our toes. And we'll make our way into our downward facing dog. So to pedal out the knees, so bend one deeply and then straighten the other, almost like you're kind of walking your downward facing dog. Nice deep breaths in, and nice long breaths out. Then we'll all slowly come on back to our stillness here. Step your left foot to the center of your mat as you inhale your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and rotate your hips open. We'll start to take some hip circles here, so really wrap the armpits in, nice strong shoulders. Inhale, knee draws forward, in, and then exhale, kick it back up and open. Almost like on the right side of the wall next to you, you're drawing big circles with your knee. Really exaggerate the movement here, big circles, just trying to get the joint moving. On your next inhale, let's straighten the leg all the way up to the sky. And as you exhale, step your right foot in between your hands and just gently place your left knee down onto the ground. Good work. So now we'll tent up onto our fingertips like there's a cupcake underneath both of your hands, and we don't want to squish it by being flat on the hands. So up onto the fingertips, pull your belly in, and imagine your heart being scooped forward, really lengthening through the spine. Good. Now, if you already feel a really deep stretch here, that's great. If not, on your exhale, you can slowly start to draw the hips a little bit more to the front of the mat. Now remember, it's early in our practice, so there's no need to go super deep right away. It's just what feels good to you. We'll take an inhale. And as we exhale, let's straighten the right leg and just press into the heel and press into the ball mound of your right foot. Good. Inhale back up onto the fingertips, scooping your heart forward, lengthen. And as you exhale, just glide it back. Inhale forward. Exhale, glide it back. Inhale forward. Exhale, glide it back. On your next inhale, let's glide it forward. And let's walk your right foot a little bit out toward the right side. And you can squish the cupcake of your left hand now. Press down to the left hand, lift out of left shoulder. And we're just going to gently press or place the right hand on the inner right thigh. Lean the chest back and roll to the outer edge of your right foot. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale and exhale. Take one more breath in here. Exhale fully. And then inhale, come on back to center. Walk your right foot in. Hop up onto the fingertips, scoop your heart forward. And as you exhale, send it back. This time flex the toes toward the face. Draw your right hip back and your left hip a little bit forward. Digging the right heel into the mat in front of you. Really feel the stretch in the back of the right glute. Breath in and breath out. One more inhale. Full exhale. And then inhale, come on back to your bent knee, plant the hands, and step back into your downward facing dog. You can start to pedal out that dog one more time, bending the knees, take your little walk, deep breaths in, and cleansing breaths out. Good, come back to your stillness. We'll step your right foot to the center of your mat. Inhale your left leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, bend your knee and rotate your hips open. Good, start to draw your knee forward, in, and then kick it back, up, and out. Use your breath here. Inhale, forward, in. Exhale, kick it back, up, and out, like you're drawing big circles with your left knee on the wall to the left of you. Good, just getting into the joint, loosening up. And then on your next inhale, let's straighten your left leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, gently step your left foot in between the hands and place your right knee down onto the ground. Crawl up onto your fingertips here. Good, if you need to scooch the left foot forward, that's fine. Heart pulls forward, lengthening the spine. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, just glide the hips back, pressing into ball mound of your left foot and heel. Good, inhale, drop your hips forward, lengthening. And exhale, glide it back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, glide it back. Inhale forward, and let's hold here on this side. If this is enough for you, stay here. If not, you can slowly on your exhale start to draw the hips a little bit more forward. A little bit more forward and down. Good. Slowly anchor your right hand and start to walk your left foot out to the left. Place left hand on inner thigh, and you gently roll out onto the outer edge of your left foot. Press down into your right hand and lift up out of your right shoulder, leaning the shoulders back. Good, deep breaths in and out. Inhale and exhale. One more breath in. Exhale completely. And then we'll slowly come on back to center, walking your left foot in. Take an inhale to pop up onto your fingertips and scoop your heart. And as you exhale, glide it back, but this time flex the foot, lift the toes. Good, you can drive the left heel forward as you draw your left hip back. Let's take a couple breaths, really stretching the back of your left leg. Inhales and exhales. Breath in and breath out. On your next inhale, we're going to glide forward to your bent knee. Plant the hands and step back to your downward facing dog. Good, let's take a big breath in and out. Inhale, your right leg lifts up to the sky. And as you exhale, step your right foot in between the hands, placing left knee down once again. Good, we're gonna travel the right foot out to the right side so both hands are inside of your right foot. We're going to come in for your lizard here. What I'd like you to do, again, is come up onto your fingertips and pull the belly button in and up toward the spine. And then we're going to start to crawl the fingertips forward. So I'd like you to actually think about keeping this length in your heart. Move forward as much as you can here, and then start to send the hips closer toward the ground. Breath in and breath out. Really deepening into the front of your left thigh, feeling your quads stretching. If this is not enough for you, once you've already elongated, you can think about dropping down onto a block, or if you'd like, your forearms can come all the way to the ground, depending on how flexible you're feeling today. Keep your breaths nice and steady, nice and focused. Let's take about one more breath here. And then we're going to walk the hands back up and start to walk your right foot over to the left side of your mat and drop your right knee out to the right side. We're going to come in for our half pigeon. So your right knee can come out to the right. And if this is too much on the glute, you can go ahead and bring your right heel in toward the center of the mat and scoot your left leg back. We're going to come up and really lengthen, pull in the core, squeeze the inner thighs together, lift through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, just start to crawl your way down into your half pigeon. Again, you can come to your forearms or you can walk all the way down so that forehead is on the ground. It's really up to you. Notice here if we're rolling all the way to the right side, and try and bring your weight back to center. And now as you soften down into your pigeon, just allow the breath to get really slow and really focused. If any sensations or emotions are coming up for you, see if you can allow them to exist at the same time as your breath. And we just allow ourselves the courage to feel what we feel physically and emotionally. Most often the only way through our difficult emotions, instead of escaping them, is to go through them. The only way to get to the other side is to walk right through them and feel them all. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly come all the way up to the hands. Good. And we're going to press into the hands and come back to your downward facing dog. We'll inhale our left leg up to the sky, and then as you exhale, step your left foot in between your hands, placing your right knee down. We're going to travel your left foot out to the left and walk your left hand inside, preparing for our lizard on the left side. Again, let's pop up onto our fingertips here. And we're going to start to crawl forward. So really crawl the fingertips forward. Lengthen the heart. Think about a nice long spine. And then start to think hips down and back. Heart forward and up, hips down and back. We'll take a few breaths here. And always remember that if this is not enough for you, you can use a block, come down to your forearms, or bring the forearms down toward the floor. Just getting a little bit of a deeper stretch here. Breath in and breath out. Let's take one more inhale. Fully exhale into your lizard. And then we'll start to crawl the hands back and travel your left foot over to the right side of your mat, preparing for our half pigeon. We're going to drop the left knee out. Again, if this is too much on the glute attachment, bring the heel more towards center and slide the right leg back. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Let's lengthen through the crown of our heads. And as we exhale, start to walk our way down. And just allow yourself to be wherever you are, not dropping into the left hip, not rolling to the right, but right in center. And just allowing your breath. Just softening into your left hip. Any emotions coming up? Emotions are just visitors, so allow them to come and say hello. Let them have a seat at the table, and then they'll leave. And when you're ready, we'll slowly make our way back up onto the hands. And we're going to make our way up to downward facing dog, pedaling out the knees, take a little walk. And then slowly, let's place our knees down onto the ground. we're going to make our way into frog posture. So this is a great posture for our inner hips. If you'd like, you can roll up your mat to make a little bit of padding for the knees, or you could grab a blanket. What we're going to do here is we're going to open the knees pretty wide, and we're going to keep our heels inside of the knees, flexing the feet. Good. So as wide as feels good to you. Now I'd like you to think strong core as we walk our way down into this posture. Things to think about: sinking into the shoulders, press up, and feel that you're not dropping weight into the joints of the shoulders. We're really wrapping the armpits forward and we're lifting strong shoulders. Same thing with the core. We don't have a big arch in the back here. We're really keeping the core strong, and we're allowing the stretching to be in the hips. Now over time, you can go ahead and open the knees a little bit wider. It's completely up to you. We can rock a little bit forward and back, see what feels good here in our frog position. Make sure our breath is nice and slow and nice and steady. And with each exhale, let's see if we need to back off or if we need to move a little bit deeper into the posture. Let yourself be the guide, never feeling pain, maybe a little bit of discomfort, but never pain. If there's pain, we exit. Feeling a little bit of surrender here, just allowing our body to do its thing, trusting. And then we'll slowly come back, bring the knees together, and sit back on the heels for just a moment. Bring the knees together, hand to heart and hand to belly. Take a moment with your eyes closed to take a few calming breaths. And just feeling what you feel. We'll blink our eyes open and we'll make our way to a seat. You can extend the legs out if you'd like to, give them a little bit of a shake. Maybe we move the fleshy part of our bum from beneath the sitting bones. And we're going to come into our double pigeon. So bending your right knee at a 90-degree angle and then crossing your left ankle just above the right knee. Now I like to have both feet flexed here because if we point the toes on the top leg, then the ankle can really bend into this uncomfortable position, and we don't want to overstretch your ankle. We need them to be strong to hold us up. So let's flex the foot, even if that means that the stretch is not quite as deep, right? And then it sometimes helps to lift the bum up to really lengthen up through the spine. And you can keep your eyes closed or you can keep them open. If this is easy for you, you can go ahead and start to walk your hands forward. Just don't walk far enough so that the sitting bones lift up off the ground. We're going to take a few breaths here and we're going to visualize the left hip crease really softening and letting go. I find in hips, for me, that visualizing a color, or my breath as a color, and on the exhale, sending that color into the body part that we need to soften or that we're requesting softness from really helps my body to get the message. So as you breathe in, find your color and send that beautiful color down into your left hip crease, allowing your left hip to open up. Slow, controlled breaths. Nice long spine. If you walked forward, slowly make your way up. We'll uncross our legs, give them a little shake. And then we're going to bend our left knee, flex the left foot. Bend the right knee and place your right ankle with a flexed foot to protect your ankle on top of the left knee. Good. Now one side might be your stronger side, so one side might be stronger and less flexible, one side might be really soft and more flexible. So just honor where you're at with both sides. Our bodies are never truly symmetrical, so we just have to work with what we've got. And we have to be thankful that we're able to do our movement practices. So if this is not enough for you, you can walk the hands forward. If this is enough for you, you stay right here. Find your color and find your nice deep breath, and imagine the inner right hip softening down toward the ground. Slow everything down. And we'll slowly walk the hands back up if we folded forward. We will uncross our legs. We're going to make our way all the way down to our backs. So all the way down. As you make your way down, let's bring the soles of your feet to touch and let your knees drop open into our Supta Baddha Konasana, letting the inner hips open one final time. Arms can be wherever feel comfortable. They can rest on your inner thighs. You can have the palms slip up at your sides. Let's take a nice deep breath in and breathe down into the belly. Let the belly expand. Open your mouth. One more cleansing breath like that. Inhale down into your belly. Open your mouth. Stay here as long as you need. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I hope this practice has left you feeling a little bit more peaceful than when you started. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel below and hit the bell so you get notified. I post new yoga videos every single week. That way you won't miss a thing. If you'd like to follow me on social media, I'm at jrockyoga, and my website is jrockyoga.com. Again, thank you so much for sharing your practice, and I will see you next week.